Hello and welcome to the Nightshade Academy intermission. I'm Torrefranca, the creator of this story. It's crazy to me to think that we're already halfway through the release of everything confirmed for the audio adaptation. I feel like I just started working on this project yesterday. Before I dive into the content, just a quick announcement. Nightshade Academy will be published in its original book format on November 11th of 2023. If you're interested in reading the book early in exchange for an online review, you can apply to be an ARC reader. The ARC copies, or advanced reader copies, are not actually available right now, but as soon as they are ready, they will be released out to people in order of application date. So sign up as soon as possible to receive the book as soon as possible. The link is in the description below. Let's start with the prologue. I was actually nauseous when I first wrote that. I was just writing the first draft and I realized she has to kill him. But how? She's not gonna have any weapons on her. And then my brain just immediately went log and I was like, the log emoji is not the same for me anymore. Let's look at some comments that the prologue received. Dang, that was darker than I expected. I have two things to say to this. First of all, yay. I'm very pleased that it had that dark twist. That's what I was going for. Second of all, are you the chicken? Because I had a chicken beta read capsule and give me feedback. And I think it might be you. Are you the chicken? If so, I'm very honored that you've stuck around this long. Thank you. Damn, Mel's voice has a different vibe in this. I'm a little bit afraid. What is the different vibe? Is my Nightshade Academy voice different? Maybe it is. Prologue. Hide and seek. Yeah, okay, I get it. Today is special for me. It's my birthday. Thank you, Mel, for making it even more so. This is the best birthday gift that I could ever hope for. Man, that is wild. For my work to be the best birthday gift ever? I mean, that is of the utmost honor. We got a comment from Sebastian here, who created the short film for my first novel, Leaving Wishville. This is sick, in both ways. Can't wait for the book. I am very pleased to know that you think my work is sick and disgusting. Thank you very much. I also asked a question that not many of you answered. I'm very hurt. Yeah. I did get one response, so shout out to Rose Woodstone. I asked, was Cal Avarium in the right? I think she took it a tad too far. I also agree with you there. I think she took it just a pinch too far, just a little bit. On the outside, I'm completely silent and still, but on the inside, I'm freaking drowning yet also exploding with excitement. Welcome to my daily life. It's either excitement or dread. I actually have a fun story about the prologue. I knew that it had to take place 2 years before the start of episode 1. In order for that to happen, the characters that are playing hide and seek had to be 13. I was like, wait a minute. Do people play hide and seek when they're 13? So I asked a question on YouTube. At what age are you too old to play hide and seek? 10. I stopped playing hide and seek when I was like 10 or 11 years old. Disappointing. 12. Max 10 to 12 years old. Somewhere around 12. Maybe normal hide and seek when you're like 12, but then it evolves into hide and seek around the block. Got another one. 12. Early teens. I'm almost 13 and I still play hide and seek with my younger siblings. I still play with my siblings and I'm 14. I would say 14 to 15. 13, maybe 15 among peers in my experience. Honestly, I would still go play with friends and I'm 17. I'm 20 and I would still play hide and seek. Literally, if any of my friends are watching this and you want to play hide and seek, hit me up. I will play hide and seek, okay? Honestly, I don't think there's any age where you stop. The game just gets progressively harder. Like maybe you play in the dark or tag someone. Oh gosh. Or tagging someone means hurting them. Or maybe my cousins and I are messed up. Please be safe. Never too old. Though socially, I'd assume about 19. Even I am 92, I will play it. Never too old for that, I guess. I actually would love to if someone asked me to play hide and seek with them, especially my friends. Hey, a Mew with the cat? I'm down. I'm down. Let's do it. There really isn't an age where you're too old to play hide and seek. There's no such thing as being too old to play hide and seek. You're never too old for hide and seek. You're never too old for hide and seek. Never, 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 ever, never LMAO. The enthusiasm in that one. Never. There are more extreme ways to play it. Like what? It's really sad because I can't remember the last time I played hide and seek, but I have so many fond memories. I remember one time I hid in a cabinet and I sat there for like probably a couple hours, super pleased with myself because I thought they couldn't find me. And eventually when I came out of the cabinet, all of my friends were just watching SpongeBob and they say they gave up and they were bored. And so I was just sitting in a cabinet for no reason. So, I've got a question here. Where did the idea to turn Nightshade Academy into an audio drama first come from? It popped into my head on multiple occasions after listening to the audio drama Mother Hacker. What made me commit to the project full force was actually the voice actors. I put up a casting call expecting no one to audition. I think I ended up with over 200 or something crazy. There were 56 auditions just for Yoshi Kanya alone, his voice, and I was like, wow, people actually want to be a part of this. Yoshi's voice actor really captured exactly how I imagined Yoshi's voice when I was beta reading. I'm very happy to hear this from a beta reader, and actually multiple beta readers have told me this. Like I said, there were 56 auditions. For some reason, I just kept coming back to Jason's audition. I was like, no, this is Yoshi. Like, I don't know why, but this is Yoshi. This was super engaging, Mel. Can't wait for the next episode and to meet Val finally. I'm very honored to hear this from you. I'm obsessed with all of your analysis and reviews of movies and books, whether it's on YouTube or on Instagram. I'm very much a fan of Val. I've made that very clear. However, I will admit, some of the other characters have grown on me more throughout the editing process. I very much relate to Pinto. I'm not sure if I'd say he's like my favorite character or that I even like him. He reminds me too much of me. I can just really relate, like the obsession with career and the inability to just have fun. This is a comment to episode 2 selection season. Gosh, I love this one. I kind of knew Yoshi was gonna get selected, and I expected Allura to be selected too. When it added his name just right at the end. Oh my god, I was excited. Here's a meme that someone posted in the Discord. Fun fact about Allura, she didn't exist until fairly recently. I was hesitant to introduce too many characters in Citra when Yoshi's just gonna leave them anyway. But then I thought it'd be a fun addition and kind of bring more to the world and make that town feel more real, and I was like, I like Allura, she's fun. So I added her in, and who knows, maybe she'll come back in the future. At this point, I'm just hoping that Nightshade Academy becomes a bestseller and Belladonna gets picked up to become a movie or a Netflix original. You are my favorite author, keep up the great work, this sounds amazing. I wouldn't be surprised if this became a bestseller and became a movie. Wow. Thank you very much. I'm glad you see potential for something larger. The moment that made you fall in love with this book completely. It was my childhood friend Angie that kind of convinced me to end up turning this into the trilogy. We were going to the beach, I believe, and I just started telling her about the story, the original story, and then she started bouncing ideas off of me, like what if this happened, or what if this character was there, and we just ended up brainstorming, and then I got lost, and it took forever for me to drive us back home. But that was the moment I realized, like, I was so lost in this world, I literally drove to the middle of nowhere. Is Nightshade Academy set in the same place as The Sky Weaves With Us, or did you change the setting, and if so, why? Context, The Sky Weaves With Us is the name of the original story I wrote when I was 10, that I'm basing all of this on. What plot points from The Sky Weaves With Us actually made it into the Belladonna trilogy? I had the whole island vibe, the whole weather being gloomy. That was all very built into the original story, and that has not changed at all. The atmosphere of the island is very much the same. In terms of plot points, Nightshade Academy is more of a prequel to the original story that I wrote. The Sky Weaves With Us had the character Yoshi in it, and he was always my favorite character when I was younger. And so when I revisited the story with the intent of rewriting it, I realized I really want to tell Yoshi's story first. So book 2 is more closely aligned with the Sky Weaves With Us in terms of the plot, and it follows the original main character, which is Santi. Dang, I got played. This is a comment on episode 3, Bloodbound. And I actually remember the moment I first read this because I was in a coffee shop and it took me a moment to process because I was like, what does that mean? And then I realized it was Alex Bowie, the voice actor for Quacks, and then it all came together and I just started laughing in public. It was very awkward. Yeah, I still don't forgive you for that, Alex. Feels like we're building to something special. I'm hooked. Is it something special? Or is it something absolutely terrible? We'll have to wait and see. Oh man, I cry when I think of the ending. Just kidding. Composure. The tension and character conflict in this episode had me on the edge of my seat. Yoshi's internal conflict in this episode was so gripping. It was an absolutely brilliant episode, as has been the series so far. This means a lot coming from other writers. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad that the internal conflict hit hard. Here's a meme that Millie put together. Trade offer. Your service as a guardian, you receive trauma. Also, fun fact about episode 3 that this meme also reminds me of is the song We Have It All by Pim Stones. that was actually the inspiration for adding this moment in the story, because in previous drafts it wasn't such a big deal. What other books, short stories did you take inspiration from while writing it? I would say definitely Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. I can't think of any short stories. Some shows that definitely inspired it would be Troll Hunters, the animated show. I absolutely love it. Also, the anime Assassination Classroom, that was one of my absolute favorites in 8th grade. I love that show so much. Here's some comments on episode 4, Orientation. The fangirlish urge to be selected for the academy just to give Yashi a hug. Yashi needs a hug, honestly. We haven't even gotten to his peak anxiety yet. I know it might be painful later on in the story to see Yashi and Quax's friendship become ruined because of the academy, and it's already looking that way, but I'm kind of a fan of characters being pitted against each other, especially if they were close friends before, because it creates tension that I'm just a sucker for. It was not my idea, it was a beta reader who pitched it to me, and I was like, whoa, that would be so much better than having them just be complete randos. I'm very glad people seem to be enjoying the falling out of that friendship. LOL. The meta, nah, it's the eye patch response got me. Oh my gosh. Guys, I was actually not sure about that line at first, but my beta readers just absolutely loved it. Like, there were so many responses to that comment, so I was like, I have to keep it in. I can't take it out after that. When Yashi was thinking, how did we get here, the theme song started playing in my head. Very intentional, the how did we get here. I am a sucker for incorporating recurring phrases into my books. You'll notice it in Capsule if you've read that. I will use any opportunity I can to incorporate phrases from the episode titles, even if it's not that episode. Like rabbit hole, it gets mentioned a lot. What could have been, the phrase like could have been, oh my gosh. I just like reusing phrases and it's just really fun. Ember is such an interesting character. I always love characters we don't know if we could trust. I don't really know if I trust her or not. She has a point that Yashi's emotional state seems to be crumbling, losing his best friend, failing his father, and he seems to have a lot of low self-esteem. I hope we can trust Ember though. Trust no one. Yashi's casual, she steals bread, will forever be funny to me. There's a lot of Yashi, I guess, jokes or like little comments he makes that even catch me off guard. In episode 9, I believe, he makes a joke about a pin being sharp.
It's not a bad nickname.
Nicknames are pointless.
But a pin is sharp.
Oh my god, I can't. Sometimes it's just so cringy, but I just have to add it in. I can't resist. I can't resist. Finish your supper. I love that line, and it becomes a recurring joke throughout part 2.
Now go upstairs and finish your supper.
Also, check out this amazing fan art of Professor Ember. I'm in love with it. The hair is sharp, and I like that. I made this sketch of my characters like ages ago. Oh my goodness, this was a year ago. We've got a real Yashi in real life. I also made this concept art for the Belladonna uniforms a while back. Whoa, the ending was awesome. OMG, the ending gave me chills. Oh, these are comments on selection material when Professor Ember gives Yashi that intense lecture.
So you need to really dig, Yashi. You need to dig and you need to find a reason why you bleed to stay here.
That was one of my favorite things to write. Julia, the voice actor for Professor Ember, she did such a great job. Vel to the rescue! Here's a response to episode 9. Appreciate the gut punch, that was a close one. Anytime. Oh, these are the voice actors for Vel and the latest voice actor for Pinto. Communicating in character. Oh god. I had a feeling something was off when an unexpected free day came up. I feel so bad for Pinto. Good thing Vel was there to help him not get filtered though. I was so excited to see everyone's reactions to episode 9 because I feel like it's the first time things start to go weird. Any form of romantic relationship between Vel and Pinto. All of the romance that I've added to any of my previous books was based on beta reader feedback. I'm literally keeping tallies because I can't make up my mind on my own. I have no strong personal preference in terms of what ships sail. And as you can see, my beta readers are very opinionated. A lot of people do ship Vel and Pinto. I've got a lot of Yashi and Vel, Yashi and Kia, and a ton of like neutral answers, and then people who absolutely don't want any romance at all between the trio. So yeah, it's complicated. Who knows is my response to that. How did you come up with the symptoms of the Belladonna plant? That was mostly research that I did on Belladonna online, and then I also listened to the audiobook The Royal Art of Poison. On a completely unrelated note, I think I know the 5 teens who graduate from the program, and I responded, who? And the response was Pinto, Val, Yashi, and Quacks. That's only 4. I'm crying, that was so cute. This was a nice break, mostly after that last episode. Great moment between Yashi and Vel. The wholesome moments between Yashi and Vel. Love their interactions with each other. Yay, a wholesome Yashi and Vel episode. Love this one. I love the game at the end. The characters weren't totally miserable in this episode. Yay. I'm glad everyone seemed to enjoy episode 10 quite a bit. I had a lot of good responses. Yashi and Vel training together was based on my personal experience in karate when I was around the age of 13 to 14 or 15. My sparring partner, his phrase that he told me all the time was be stupider, because I was so hesitant with every move and I just had no confidence essentially when it came to fighting. I realized that would be a really fun element to incorporate into Vel's character. What were the hardest chapters to write and which ones were you looking forward to writing the most? To answer both of those questions, now that I've given it some thought, I would say episode 10 was both the hardest to write and the one I was looking forward to. In theory, it seemed so much fun. 2 characters that I absolutely love and adore, put them together for an entire episode that centers almost completely around just them. I thought it would be great, but I had a really hard time writing that episode. It took place in a garden, and then at one point it took place in the lab, and then eventually I got to the current version, but also I knew nothing about horses, and I spent a lot of time researching, like, how do you make a horse move? And then also just the emotional progression of their conversations and stuff was really hard. I have written down a few predictions I've thought about while listening to the audiobook. My first prediction is about Yashi. My second prediction is about the 5 graduating trainees. Yes! I love to hear predictions about the final 5. I have a feeling the ones that will be graduating are Yashi, Quacks, Vel, Pinto, and Ko. At first I thought Senna was going to make it as one of the graduating trainees, but now I know anything can happen. By the end of part 1, we will know who the final 5 are. Episode 20 is intense. It is crazy. My beta readers know who the final 5 are, so please do not spoil it, guys. Speaking of Ko, flashback to that time I almost named him Kodo. I had 578 people vote on YouTube on his name. Is book 2 and 3 plotted? I am happy to say that yes, they are plotted. Book 2 is plotted more than book 3. I have like a vague outline for book 3, but I do know how the story ends. And I don't like it. Book 2 is much more structured, and I've actually written quite a large chunk of book 2. Just a fun final poll that I hosted recently. Is it really true that heroes live in stars? This was from the theme song. Majority of people think heroes live in stars. Look up at the stars. Those are our heroes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up this video now, but thank you so much for watching, and once again, if you're interested in receiving an early copy of my book, link is in the description to apply to become an ARC reader. I hope this has been entertaining, at least a little bit for you. And I will see you next week with the release of episode 11, Her Voice.